The Niners need to bench Brock Purdy during the bye week. Like, they got to stop being in denial. This is who Brock Purdy is. He had a great run, but the NFL always exposes who you really are. And the real Brock Purdy just stood up. That's him. He showed it in college. He showed it in training camp. He turns the ball over a lot. And the fact that he didn't turn it over the first 5 games, no picks, was incredible. And I couldn't believe it because he turned it over like 20 times in training camp. And I felt like it was going to happen again because things even out. If you're a turnover machine in practice, there's a 99% chance that you're eventually going to out yourself as a turnover machine in games. And that's what he's doing. 6 turnovers. 6 in the last 3 games. Goodbye, you're done. You can't be a guy who turns the ball over multiple times a game because you know what happens if you're that guy? You lose. 3 weeks ago, people said, man, this guy might be the next Joe Montana. By a bunch of people who never saw Joe Montana play. I never saw Joe Montana play. I saw him on the Chiefs. But I'm pretty sure what made Joe was the comebacks. This guy can't come back. He has 1 comeback in his entire career. He rides the coattail of his team. You take away 1 or 2 all-pros, and it's like, what do you got left? A turnover machine. And you saw it early in the game. He threw that pass over the middle in the second quarter that almost got intercepted by Logan Wilson. You're like, okay, that's a Jimmy pass. Then he threw that pick to the linebacker right in front of him, scrambling to the right. That was incredible. Then he did throw the pick to Logan Wilson. Then he fumbled. Then he threw another pick that was negated because of a roughing the passer penalty. Like, you can't play like that. There are like 7 quarterbacks in the NFL who are allowed to have a game like that. And Brock Purdy isn't one of them. You don't have Pro Bowls. You don't have multiple seasons of success. You don't have a Super Bowl ring. You don't have an NFC Championship win. You are a game manager. You're playing because you protect the football and make some plays here and there with your legs. You're not playing to carry the team. And when you are asked to carry the team, what happens? You lose the game. You lose it. So, yeah, I think we learned about Brock Purdy. He was a product of the system. He was a product of the team. And when you took a little bit of that supporting cast away, boom. He is a younger, more mobile Jimmy Garoppolo because when the ball leaves his hands, it is just as likely to end up in a linebacker's hands as it is with Jimmy Garoppolo. That's disconcerting. You traded away Trey Lance. You call this guy the real deal. If Brock Purdy doesn't work out and Sam Darnold isn't better, how can you have confidence in the man who called Brock Purdy the real deal? Does he look like the real deal to you? Maybe he shouldn't have been playing this game. Maybe it was all about the concussion, but you know what? He wasn't good before the concussion the last 2 weeks. I think the league has caught up to him. I think we all knew he was fairly limited. He was fresh on the scene. But once teams got a good look at him, there's not that much he can do. Good scrambler. Doesn't really have much of an arm. And now his arm is getting scouted. And his arm is a liability. He'll make some nice plays. He can make some good throws on the run. But if you're 2-3 turnover a game guy, you got to go. You got to go. Brock Purdy isn't good enough to be losing games weekly saying, I tried. I was trying to be the hero. Nah. Bring in Sam Darnold and see if he can not turn the ball over. That's what the job is of the quarterback on the 49ers. Don't turn the ball over, man. You turned it over in the red zone. That took 7 points off the board. Or at least 3. Then you had another turnover that directly led to a touchdown for the Bengals 1 play later. So it's like, that's like 14 points right there. Can't have it. People are real sentimental with the Brock Purdy experience. I don't know why. Maybe because it looks like their little brother. But the Niners were real ruthless with Jimmy Garoppolo, real ruthless with Trey Lance. It's time to be ruthless with Brock. How many more games are you going to lose because you think he's going to pull out of it? Hasn't happened yet. Got to bench him. Can't afford to drop a 4th game in a row because he's committing 2 turnovers a game. Sorry. Maybe if he spends a month on the bench, he'll get it together. He's doing way too much. Trying to. Irfin says, I remember when some fans didn't want to trade Bosa for Lamar. Oh, I remember that too. Dave Barclay says, Grant, WTF, we look like a shell of the Cowboys game. Like, that was it? Who can we get to lift everyone? We look like crap. Kyle sucks. Can't change plans. CMC all the way. F off. So many weapons here. They got to get a corner. Their secondary, it's atrocious. Lyson 4647 says the defense, in my opinion, is the biggest issue. Saleh and Ryans had the same players, and the defense never looked like this. Yeah. What about the quarterback who turned the ball over 3 times today? How do you win a game when the quarterback turns it over 3 times? How do you do that? Hard. I got to put it on Brock. T&K Hunting Gear says Romo was literally pointing out Wilkes' flaws within the plays he was calling. It was embarrassing. He's in way above his head and is lost. Agree. Dave Barclay says, how? 638 votes and 200 likes? Come on, guys. Yeah, let me get some of them likes. Get some likes. Andrew Fox Miller says, wins equal revenue on YouTube for us. I just wanted to share the gains. Cincinnati Bengals talk on YouTube. Hey, shout out Fox Miller, man. Andrew Fox Miller. Go check out his Bengals YouTube channel. Geo Dude says, what's the O-line ranking without Trent Williams? Not good, Geo Dude. Not good. Dale says, Grant, you're nuts on Purdy evaluation. Any quarterback that feels like they have to be the Superman cause D can't stop paper is going, do that. Okay. Andrew Bowe says, what do you get if you turn the ball over multiple times a game? Signed by Niners in offseason so they can ditch Trey since you are the next. Steve Young. Dave Barclay says, Trey is still better and not here. You are not that guy, pal. Says, what does benching Purdy do? Darnold is worse. How could he be worse? Turnovers are kind of a problem. Kind of. I know that's hard to say. KOSEG says, Kyle Shanahan is incapable of getting a good quarterback. If the front office had any sense, they'd get him an OC and someone to get a quarterback for this team. Nathan Flores says, I remember quarterback QC said Purdy G was an interception machine in training camp, but the Niner fans were like, nah, we'll be all right. How's that looking? Quality control. Yeah, tried to tell them. They didn't want to hear it. Wave 9 says, I feel vindicated about Brock. We deserve this. Kind of. Ivan Tina says, those fans will tell you 97 is the best ever, then ask for another edge rusher to help him. What the hell happened to Nick Bosa? Wave 9 says, what about the window Brock can't afford to lose? What window? Shreddy Murphy. Cousins tore ACL today, stuck with Steve Young, LOL. Was it his Achilles? Thanks for the pick, Grant. Hey, Zach. Zach was over here waiting for me. I like that. Fat Fish and Chip says QB common denominator equals Shanahan. It's true. All I know is that Purdy had one bad game and is snowballed into 3. Did it not? He had one bad game against Cleveland, and he's been worse every game since. That's the mark of a good head coach. Because we know Kyle Shanahan is relentlessly positive. So I'm sure Brock Purdy had that bad game against the Browns, and Kyle was like, put his arm around him. Hey, Brock, man, it's me and you, buddy. We're a team. We're a unit. Me and you, I believe in you, man. You are so good. That's what Kyle did, right? And that's why Brock's play has gotten steadily worse. It's not like Kyle Shanahan chewed him out after the first loss of his career and freak. That's not what Kyle would do. Why would Kyle do? It's not his character to be overly negative after one mistake. It's not what Kyle would ever do. He's not the kind of guy who would help a young player compound his problems. No, Kyle's relentlessly positive like Mike McDaniel. I would have replaced Brock after the second pick. I would have replaced Brock after the second loss. Darnold should have started this game. And not just because Brock had a concussion 6 days ago. Michael McCann says no one enjoyed this game more than Trey Area Lance. It's Measy says he's the third string quarterback. He needs to worry about himself. It's Measy says could have swore that was Jimmy G playing the past 2 games. Yup. Abu Marco 23 says we are currently the 6th seed. Lucky the 7th is Minnesota. They just lost Cousins. If we make the playoffs, it's just because the conference is trash. Man, that's so true. The young Montana been a member for 26 months. That's a long time. Ethan M says thoughts on what Fred said about Brock. He said he's the least of their problems, right? And then he said that Steve Wilkes is the least of their problems. So I felt like that's a bad thing to say. I mean, it probably means he's the most of their problems. Can Niners retrade for Lance? They won't, says Sammy Mack. Gregory Young, trade Kyle and Wilkes. The consequences of banana hands is coming back around. You don't want to fall. You don't want to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. And the Niners have with Kyle Shanahan. Geo Dude says, what happened to Bosa? He got paid. Now he's modeling with the Kardashians. He doesn't need to get sacks anymore. Man, this happened last year, though. Maybe he knew he was going to get paid, but this has been going on since before he got paid. Can't get right. Says, I wonder what Larry will say about everyone but Brock Purdy. Shout out Larry. Larry's doing his thing.